What's up, guys? Today we're checking out Shakedown Hawaii. Now, Vblank was kind enough to send over an early copy of this so we can do a preview on it, and I'm pretty excited to check this game out. I've been talking about it for a while now, and to finally get it in my hands and get a chance to play it is pretty exciting, and we're going to do just that. We're going to play some of it here now. I've played a couple hours of it, and I have enough here to obviously do a preview and everything and some impressions, but so far, I'm very happy with the game. Okay, it's pretty awesome. So we're going to jump into it right now, and I'm actually showing you the icon here because people always ask about like the game icons at times and everything. Well, today I'll actually show you this one. There's Shakedown Hawaii's icon. Now we're going to go ahead and jump in, and we're going to play some of it as I kind of tell you guys what's going on. Also, if you guys are enjoying these early looks at games, make sure you hit the like button down below, and we'll work to get more of them as we go along, just so you get an idea as to what a game looks like and everything before it comes out. Now, Shakedown Hawaii is $19.99, and it's going to be out May 7th. So next week, it will be out, and people will be able to pick it up, and it's coming out on everything. And when I say everything, I mean, seriously, everything. It's coming out on even the PlayStation Vita. That's right, I said Vita. There's going to be a physical copy. That's one that might be worth collecting for Vita fans. And then it's also apparently still coming out on the 3DS, which is weird. But yeah, that's all happening. And as of now, it's also obviously on all the platforms you could think of: PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. This is the Switch version we're going to be playing today and kind of checking out. So, what is Shakedown Hawaii? Well, the best way I can explain it to you in a couple seconds is it is an old school top-down Grand Theft Auto style game, but with more to it. So if you're a fan of the old school Grand Theft Autos, you're going to like this this game. It also has some funny takes on it that reminds me of a parody at times, similar to something like what Saints Row did with the 3D Grand Theft Auto games, where they mostly made fun of them. That's kind of what this is, just in like top-down format. Let me get my little car here and we're going to drive around. The one thing I have not been a big fan of, although they have another mode, and maybe I'll try it, is the driving. I mean, I guess it's top-down. It's hard to do, like, top-down driving. That's something I get. This is what they call the manual mode, so I use ZR to accelerate, and I move the front of the nose of my car, essentially, with the left stick, and it works, but it does take a lot of getting used to, and even after you are used to it, I still don't think it's very comfortable to use. There's an automatic one where you don't necessarily have to steer the nose of your car. You basically, I think, just press up or down, depending. Again, top-down driving, never really been the easiest thing in the world to actually put in a game. So, unfortunately, they didn't come up with anything crazy to figure this out. So, what exactly is happening here? Where you're basically playing as a tycoon who is working to take over this city. That's his whole thing. He's trying to take it over by essentially owning all of the buildings and becoming basically like the kingpin of the town. And you do that in all kinds of crazy ways, and it's really funny the way that they make fun of him, showing that he's very out of touch. There is a part early on where you go to a VR place because it sounds really, really cool, and he invests in a VR arcade, so you own one of those. Then you own like chop shops basically, and repo centers for cars and everything. There's a cop. He probably should have pulled me over, but oh well. So let me actually go down here and get out, and I'll show you some of what you can do with just in general buying. There we go. Buying different things. So here's actually the map. I can zoom out. So the map's pretty large, right? I mean, there's a lot going on here. You can see all the different buildings and everything, and you can actually buy into them and essentially make it so that your income is better. Now, you do get daily revenue, essentially, and it'll tell you occasionally, hey, you're getting revenue. You know, it'll come up and say, hey, your daily revenue, here's $2,000 or something. And then you can invest them. So if I go to, let's see, do we have anywhere I can actually buy into? That I can actually afford. Like, so this auto is actually a little too expensive for me right now. There were some houses I think I could have invested in. So here's some housing. These are like fixer-upper houses. So I can actually buy some of these, and it'll come off of how much I have. There we go. And then that'll give me rent, it looks like. So I can actually go around and buying up quite a few of these. And again, supplement your income. And the idea is to eventually get to the point where I guess you own so much of the city that you're getting tons of money. And then at that point, I guess you would probably upgrade your living quarters and everything, your house and all of that. Let me actually go back here, and we'll go do a mission as well while we're at it. So it is Grand Theft Auto to the point where you have cops that will chase you. You can get out, and seriously, it's like open world to the point where you can just go do what you want. But then you have these mission markers, and we'll actually do this. So there's our main character there to the right, okay? And he is older, but he is very out of touch when it comes to anything with the current times. And there are some funny exchanges that he has with people. Like right now, we're going to be filming Death Camp Audition number 2. So they had him filming like commercials, and he had one of his repo people go do it. Which was really funny, and you had to pretend like you were playing a game, and it was basically a live stream by accident, and it messed everything up. So there are these sequences where it feels like you're getting ahead, but then something will happen to kind of knock you backwards, which basically it reminds me of like a Breaking Bad, for example, where it always felt like they were getting ahead, and then something bad would happen and kind of ruin it. So I'm doing this commercial apparently, and these are all different ways to get money to advance the story, obviously, which is the biggest thing, because as you advance the story, more and more things unlock and more things happen, which is really cool. I was kind of hoping this would be a mission, because this is one I haven't done yet. I was kind of hoping this would have been a mission that would have involved me going out and fighting and holding people up. Like, I invested in a coffee shop, and they had me go out because he thought beans were too expensive for his... Oh, that hit me. He thought beans were too expensive for his business, so his plan essentially was to... Oh, I failed the mission. His plan was to basically go steal a coffee truck and steal the beans that way. So that's what you did. You just went out and you stole a truck, and that's how you got beans for your business. Which is so funny. It's so weird. But they don't take themselves seriously, I guess, is the biggest thing in this game. It's supposed to be them making fun of stuff like a top-down Grand Theft Auto, and they do it pretty well. Visuals they look clean enough on screen, but they are basically going for like a 16-bit look, right? That's what they're going for here. And they pull it off well. The text is sharp. I assume it's 1080p, 720p on the Switch, like you'd expect. But it's a fun game so far. I'm having a good time. Couple hours in. So we're calling, and we're gonna... What I'll probably do is just go around, and we can actually just kind of do some mayhem in the city. Because it does tell you can run around, beat up civilians, and take their money, essentially. So they do encourage you to do that, and we might as well run around and do that now, actually. So let me get through this, and we'll get in the car and start actually running around. What we will do is we'll do a... All right, so he's mad. Need some comfort food. So what you can do that's kind of neat, I think I remember this from Vice City. So Vice City was a long time ago for me. Grand Theft Auto, that was like super hot when it came out, right? It was super popular. But in this, they kind of took from that to where you can, what they call shakedown locations. So you see this one here? It says there's a shakedown available, and that'll convince the owner to sell it. Convince the owner to sell it. Let's actually go do that real quick. We'll shake them down, and what that means is you walk in and you say something, like, oh, I took that guy out. You say something like, wow, it would be nice if your shelves were a bit stronger, and they say, what? And then you just start smashing everything with a bat, and eventually they give up, their... There we go. They give up their store, or they're like, we're getting out of here, we're gonna sell, and then you buy them. Or they pay you protection money. Basically, yeah, you're shaking them down. So if I go up here, I have a costume that I guess I have to change into. We're gonna initiate the shakedown. Doesn't look too safe around these parts, right? And then apparently I picked the wrong store, so he's probably gonna go crazy on me. So it's hard to run a store without shelves, is what he says. So we're going around, we're just destroying his shelves, right? And they have these cool little things like this, where he captured me, it seems, right? Loss prevention holding unit, and now I have to find an exit. So sometimes it's easy, other times it's not. But what's really cool is they have a lot of these little missions and different things that you can do in like the open world to get money and then invest in other buildings and essentially build up your massive wealth and everything and take over, which is really cool. So I found an exit. I basically just broke through this door there, and I'm swimming through the sewers, it seems, and now I'm back. So again, little things like that, but there you go. He's gonna pay me now for protection from me for smashing his shelves up, and at that point I did a shakedown on him, and I might even be able to, let me see, can I actually buy it now? I can. So if I want, I can actually buy the pharmacy. I don't have enough money right now, but you can now buy the pharmacy, and you can generate profit from high margin pharmaceutical sales, and you reduce the cost of your employees' health benefits. So again, as you go through, you also get employees, you have to pay them, and it's actually has like this little mini like kind of economy management that you have to do, right, on all this stuff. It's actually really neat. I didn't expect all of this in the game, and then you of course have your missions that you're running through and everything as well, but I did not expect to go into this and start buying like and flipping houses, buying strip malls, and essentially working to own this entire city. It's really cool, though, the way they did this. It seems like it's going to take quite a while to beat it and do everything in the game, but I'm up for it, and I like it a lot so far. So let me actually get in here, and I noticed I didn't do any of the real shooting or anything. How about I actually go through here, and we'll take some people out. Oh, the cop's on to me. He's on to me. Let me go through here, and you can basically just, like what I'm doing now, you can pretty much just go do mayhem, right? You can just, like, there's not really a lot of, like, the cops aren't super difficult to lose, and they basically encourage you to just do what you want, basically, which is kind of cool. Let me actually take him out. So I'm shooting him. Oh, see, a cop just kind of took me out. I got some health from him. And the shooting it's pretty straightforward. You have like a lock on where when you start shooting someone, it'll lock onto them like that. And it's not like crazy. They have all different kinds of weapons and guns too. They have the rocket launcher right in the beginning, obviously. You saw machine guns, assault rifles. I haven't seen a sniper rifle yet, but I also haven't obviously played all the way through the game or anything yet. There was one really cool part that I noticed as well in the game that they do, where they kind of took some inspiration from something like Grand Theft Auto 5, for example, where you can change characters, right? They'll have different characters you play as. In this, the main character's his farm, we'll say that, was taken over by the cartel. It was really funny the way they were like referring to it, like they were being, you know, possibility of like a wiretap or something, the way they're talking about their farm and their crops. But the cartel like took it over, and it switched to a character that they hired over there, and then you went around and you like used a flamethrower and took out people. It was pretty cool. And then they had you basically defeating the cartel to get your crops back, and it was pretty funny. This game has a lot more to it than I originally thought it was going to, and I'm starting to understand as I play through it why it's taken them so long to complete this game and get it out the door, because it seems like it maybe started as something smaller and then it ballooned into this massive project. But I like it so far. I think it's going to do well. And honestly, if you're a fan of a top-down Grand Theft Auto from like the PS1, just as an example, or I guess Chinatown Wars when that came out on the DS, another example, you will like this game, because that's basically what it is. Top-down Grand Theft Auto, but with kind of sim elements and management elements as well, where you take over the city. Let me know what you guys think, though, so far about what you've seen here. And if you're getting it, let me know what you think about all of this, though. Thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, dislike it if not. And make sure you get subscribed as we do more previews going forward. And I have some other really fun videos coming up about different consoles and teardowns and everything. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.